Hey guys, Colin here from CH Gadgets, and yes, when you see the red box, you know what time it is. It's OnePlus time. So this is a really quick video where I'm just going to give you my initial impressions of the OnePlus 10 Pro and all that it has to offer. By the way, make sure you stay tuned for the full review video where I'm going to give you the good, the bad, and the ugly. You definitely don't want to miss that. I got some good stuff in store for you guys, so make sure you stay tuned. All right, let's get into it. If you didn't know already, this big box is the media kit, which means you probably won't get your retail unit like this. But I do believe though that there's some goodies, extra goodies inside. So let's check it out. All right, let's go. Let's go. Hasselblad. And I'm assuming this one was taken with a OnePlus 10 Pro. OnePlus 10 Pro case, matte black everything case. Let's pop this thing open. OnePlus 10 Pro, 5G. Ooh. Got the usual paperwork. There you go. The obligatory OnePlus charging cable. There it is, 65 watts. All right. Woo-wee! Would you look at that? Wow, 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 look at that. This thing looks so clean. Damn. This thing looks so clean. I'm really digging this. I'm really digging this. That's the back. All right, let's turn it on. See if it got some juice. Yes, it does. It's powering on right now. All right, so tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna power this on. I'm gonna set it up. I'm gonna come back because I'm not gonna have you sit through me setting this up. So there you go. So it's a quick second for you, but it's probably gonna be like a few minutes of me trying to set this thing up. So let's go. All right, so I've finished setting it up. And I'm seriously digging the design of this phone. It looks so much better in person versus when you're looking at it on the website. I think the design team just went inside the lab and came out with something that hits way different than they've ever done before. And along with all the phone features, this thing just checks so many boxes for me. All right, so just in case you're wondering what does it look like compared to my OnePlus 9 Pro, there you go. And as premium as both of these phones are, the 10 Pro just have a way different vibe. And I'm seriously digging it even more. And also here it is compared to my Pixel 6 Pro. I mean, it's different design language, but still, you know, just look at what it looked like. You know, all right, so yeah, so I mean, wow, I'm really feeling this. You already know, if you've been checking out my channel for a while, you know I'm a serious nerd for matte and satin type texture, and this thing is just different. This is on another level. I'm not sure what they did, but it's just on another level. I know I'm talking, you probably, if you haven't seen this in person, you probably won't get it, but you definitely have to get it and see what I'm talking about. The texture, the finish, that satin finish. And this thing collects almost seriously no fingerprints. Let's look at that. I'm touching it up. My fingers are greasy. I know I got oil in my fingers. And look at that. Yeah, man. I'm seriously digging this thing. So the model that I have here has 8 gigs of super fast RAM, 128 gigabytes of storage. You already know it's a flagship, so it's being powered by the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 4nm processor, along with the Adreno 730 GPU. Yes, definitely gonna be doing some Genshin Impact and a few other resource-hungry games to see how long can we push this before it starts choking up and throttling back, or maybe not. And in typical OnePlus fashion, the display on this phone is really amazing. Of course, this is using the latest Samsung E4 panel technology. We still get a really large 6.7-inch Quad HD Plus Fluid AMOLED LTPO2 display with a pixel density of 526 per inch. And this one is also capable of producing 1 billion colors. One of the major benefits of this panel is that it's a variable refresh rate that can go from 1 Hz all the way up to 120 Hz. Plus, this one also has a touch sample rate of 1000 Hz. Another key benefit to note, this is actually a 10-bit panel that supports DCI-P3 color space and full sRGB3 color space, as well as it supports HDR10 plus content. It has a peak brightness of 1300 nits and is protected by Corning Gorilla Glass Victus. This is top tier stuff. So here's the thing, some changes were made to this camera system as well as some expected incremental improvements. We still have the same Sony IMX789 48 megapixel sensor that has an f1.8 23mm equivalent wide angle lens with phase detection autofocus, laser autofocus, and optical image stabilization. We also still have the same 8 megapixel OmniVision PureCell sensor that has an f2.4 77mm telephoto lens with 3.3 optical zoom. Now, here's where things take a little twist. We no longer have the 50 megapixel IMX766 CMOS sensor that was in the 9 Pro. They switched that out for a newer Samsung S5K JN1 50 megapixel CMOS sensor that has an f2.2 14mm 150-degree ultra-wide autofocus lens. The system still has that Hasselblad color science baked in for them photos, and it still shoots 8K at 24 frames per second, 4K at 30, 60, and 120 frames per second, and 1080p at 30, 60, and 240 frames per second with auto HDR and electronic image stabilization. And finally, on the front for the selfie camera, the next thing they switched out is the Sony IMX471 Exmo RS 60 megapixel CMOS sensor that was in the 9 Pro and replaced it with the Sony IMX615 32 megapixel CMOS sensor and a slightly faster wide angle f2.2 lens. But the biggest head scratcher for me is, why did they cap the video of the selfie camera at 1080p at 30 frames per second? We shall see. We shall see. Anyway, what does all of this mumbo jumbo mean? Well, it definitely means that we have a certified beast on our hands that will probably stop at nothing to give you a great experience. But there's only one way to find out how deep this rabbit hole goes, and that's exactly what we're going to do. Anyway, let me know what you think about this one in the comment section right under the like button. And if you have one already, let me know what your experience has been like. And if you love tech and gadgets just like I do, and you want to see more of these type of videos, then click on my face to get subscribed. And after you've done that, YouTube want you to watch this video right here. But I definitely want you to check out this one. Let's go. Peace.